time it was, the lights were low. Oh, oh. I leaned back on my radio. Oh, oh. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, that is all he said. Then the loud sound, it seemed to fade. Came back like a slow voice on a wave of fate. That wasn't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children do get. Someone, so I picked on you. Oh, oh, hey, that's far out. So you heard him too. Oh, oh, switch on the TV. We may pick him up on channel 2. Look out your window, I can see his light. If we can sparkle, he may land tonight. Don't tell your papa, or he'll get us locked up in time. Here's a star.
Hello. I am very happy to be in this famous city. Where so many philosophers, scientists have worked. The #1 European scientist who studied LSD, Professor Leary, was in Göttingen. I would like a round of applause for LSD and this Professor Leary, huh? Professor Leary is not here? Why not? He's busy. I am very sorry that I cannot speak German. And I thank you for being more intelligent than I am. I speak to you in my language, not yours. I'm going to talk about 2 very important ideas. Dangerous ideas. I'm going to talk about the... Exactly. Oh, well. I'm going to talk I'm going to talk about the evolution of intelligence. The evolution of intelligence. Now, the idea of evolution is very dangerous because throughout human history, the men who control society, religion, politics, industry, army, religion, politics, army, industry, police, do not like the word evolution. Because the word evolution means change. The word evolution means that things get better. Now, most men who control the world do not want you to change. Also, I say evolution of intelligence because the theory of evolution taught in the universities throughout the world, even in the highest university of Göttingen, says, Darwin's theory of evolution says that evolution takes a long, long time. So, do not worry, Chancellor, President, Pope. It takes 50 million years to change a fingernail, so you cannot change. You cannot change. Well, I must tell you that it is possible for you to evolve and change. And tonight I want to give you the scientific facts. I want to give you logic. I want to give you courage. I want to give you hope so that you will change and change and change and change like the dinosaur to a wonderful future. You can change. Now, I must tell you that you cannot believe, you know this, you know, you're very sophisticated, you know that you cannot believe anything you read in Der Stern, Der Spiegel, newspapers. You cannot believe, be very careful, the books you read in your university. Sometimes I think that no book older than 5 years is really any good because change is happening so fast. Now, there are two groups that want to make you and me feel small, helpless, and weak, hopeless, no chance to change. These two forces are organized religion and organized science. Now, I know Germany is very sophisticated, but in America, I must tell you, they did a poll, a Gallup poll, questionnaires. 44% of the American people believe the word-for-word story of evolution in the Christian Bible. In Germany, you probably don't even know about the Bible. I think the Bible, Genesis, the first chapter of the Bible, it is like a sick comic book. It says, the world, the sky, the stars, the planets, were made by a man with a big beard. His name was Jehovah. Jehovah thought and acted like a Neolith shepherd king. He gave 10 commandments. Number 1, I am the only God. That is not polite. He was very worried about someone coming in his tent and stealing his wife. He said, no, you cannot take my wife. Can you imagine a God who comes down or comes up to humanity and gives you 10 pieces of advice? He say, 1, how do we stop war? 2, how do we stop pollution? 3, how do we get smarter? 4, the mathematical formula for gravity. 5, the new commandments, That's an intelligent God, yes? Yeah. All right. Jehovah killed all human beings because they were having a party one Saturday night. Except for Noah. I mean, that's genocide. Jehovah is worse than a mafia capo. His number 1 job, besides killing people, he owns a big condominium. The condominium is called the Garden of Eden. Paradise, Garden of Eden. He said to Adam and Eve, you can do anything you want in the Garden of Eden, except there are two drug regulations. You see this tree? The fruit of this tree is verboten. It's if you eat of this, you will become intelligent. You will see through good and evil, and you'll become a god like me. You don't become a god like me. And Adam said, no, sir. And he said, there's another tree here. If you eat of this fruit, you will live forever, immortality, and become a god like me. Adam said, no, sir. Now, it is no secret when I tell you, Christian Bible does not like women. Eve was the bad one. It was all the fault of Eve. Adam was a good soldier. Eve went over to the tree. She took it, tasted it, she ate it. Boom! Her intelligence multiplied. She said, Adam, you've got to try this fruit. And then, the first narcotic raid in history, Jehovah, boom, comes into the Garden of Eden and busts, arrests Adam and Eve for eating a fruit that made them more intelligent. Now, he's a very hard policeman, Jehovah. He said, you will suffer all your life. All of your life. Also, your children will suffer. And your children's children, your children's children, for all the time, your children will suffer original sin. How do you say that in German? I don't know.
Erbsünde, Erbsünde.
So we are all guilty of original sin because Adam and Eve ate the medicine that made them intelligent in the Garden of Eden.
Have you eaten of that fruit of truth? It doesn't sound like it.
Yes.
You don't do it anymore. I've read your prayers, but what you are doing now is just too bad. I'm sorry. Timothy Leary.
I'm sorry that you're sorry.
Do not talk to 16-year-old Americans here. Can you come to the point? I'm very disappointed. I've come a long way to you.
You want me to go talk for 5 minutes and go?
I beg your pardon? I could not understand you acoustically.
Well, let me talk a little bit longer, okay?
Yes,
Okay. I'll talk a few more minutes, all right? I'm too funny. Yeah. I'm too funny.
Come on.
All right. I believe.
That's a devilish.
I believe that we can evolve. I think we can become more intelligent. But the Christian Bible says that the golden age was in the past. I think the golden age is now. And I think that now, everyone in this room, I'm inspired. The religion says we cannot become more intelligent. Science also tells us we cannot be more intelligent. Darwin's theory of evolution was written 100 years ago in England, where England was the big ruler of the world. Britannia rules the waves, and British Empire was everywhere. The Darwin theory of evolution is funnier than the Christian Bible, because Darwin's theory of evolution says we evolve through chance or through accident. Now, scientists who teach Darwin's theory of evolution say, well, it's all accident. There's nothing you can do because it's all chance. Monod, the French philosopher, said, it's all chance. It's all accident. The Darwin theory of evolution says that life on this planet began 4.5 billion years ago, one Saturday night, in the Siam bar, when some methane molecules invited some ammonia molecules and some hydrogen boys and some oxygen girls, and a terrible thing happened. The place got hit by lightning, and they all began to copulate, and life began with an accident. How can you go into the 21st century thinking that life is an accident? Life is an accident. Darwin says that we would all be amoebas, unicellular creatures, in the Precambrian slime, except that as we divide 2, 4, 6, 8, there are mistakes, errors, and mutations. And some of the mutations make a man bigger and stronger. So Darwin's theory of evolution says that evolution on this planet is 4.5 billion years of mistakes, leading to bigger and better rape on the part of the man. That's survival of the fittest, natural selection. Also, Darwin's theory, biology, about how you and I were created. One night, your father made love to your mother and deposited 400 or 500 million spermatozoa in your mother's reproductive tract. Reproductive. That is a terrible 19th century factory word. It makes your mother, it makes every woman into a worker, reproducing. Also, Darwin's biological theory says that when 500 million spermatozoa are in your mother's, we call it the recreational tract. Recreational tract. 500 million spermatozoa, then bang, begins the biggest Olympic Games swimming match in history. 500 million spermatozoa are swimming, and the first big, athletic, macho, male sperm gets there first. Says, go over, I'm going to make you. That is not right. That is not right. Number one, the egg, female egg, is 10,000 times larger than the sperm. So the sperm cannot rape an egg. The female is bigger and more intelligent than the sperm. Also, the egg selects the sperm. You come in. Sit down. The egg makes the division of the chromosomes only after the sperm comes in and she looks him over. Every man in this room knows, I'm sure, that women are more intelligent than men. Now, there's a... You're awake, huh? Good. Now, there's a new theory of evolution. It is called humanist science. Humanistic science. It is a science which does not push humans down. It is a science which frees human beings and gives the individual human being the intelligence and the facts to become more intelligent. Now, I want to talk for about 20 more minutes about many sciences and facts that will give you the tools, will give you the facts, so you can evolve very quickly. In the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you should be able to double your intelligence in 1 year. There are actually, I will list you 24 kinds of intelligence, 24 stages of evolution that you can improve and grow. 24! I am an advertising agent for evolution. I am an advertising agent for intelligence. Now, first I must tell you that evolution only happens with young people. The only evolution of species happens always with young people, juveniles, adolescents. The word adult, erwachsen, in English, look at the dictionary. It says the adult is the past participle of the word to grow. Erwachsen means no more growth. Erwachsen is the individual who has gone through the metamorphosis and reached its final form. How do you say final form in German?
Endgültig.
Ende?
Endgültig.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I must tell you, if you want to evolve and grow and become more free and more intelligent and better looking and better lover, avoid. Do not become an Erwachsener. Also, evolution has not finished. Human beings are wonderful. Human beings are very intelligent, but evolution is going to go on. I mean, CDU and SPD are not the final form of evolution.
Yeah, that's right.
And it is always young people who make the change. Now, you remember. I know you remember. One time we were all very successful when we were amoebas. 4 billion years ago, we were all amoebas. And amoeba life has one brand of intelligence, one gear of intelligence, one stage of intelligence. The amoeba can do one thing. Suck. How do you say suck in German?
Sauge.
Now, the amoeba cannot drive a car or a spaceship. The amoeba can only float and suck. Now, I'm not against floating and sucking. I come from California where we have hot tubs.
What?
Hot tubs, you know. Water, hot water, and lie in a tub. It is good to float and suck, but not more than 1 hour, 2 hours a week, huh? Because there are too many other things to do. So, when we were amoebas, very successful, many amoebas, 2 of you, 4 of you, 8 of you, 12 of you, many of me, but it got too crowded. Whenever a species is too successful, 2 things happen. Overpopulation, too many people, and pollution. Pollution and overpopulation are signs that the species is doing very well. That's the time to evolve. Do you remember 4.5 billion years ago, some of us young amoebas went to the far away to the woods or to the sea? Or no, we found a new chemical. And we ate the chemical, and it increased our intelligence. The name of this chemical was calcium. Calcium. The Erwachsenen, AMA, that's the Amoeba Medical Association. Calcium is very bad. It makes heads grow, and it grows bones. And if your children eat calcium, they will swim away from home and you'll never see them again. And the amoeba theologian said, if God had wanted amoeba to grow bones, she would not have made calcium illegal. But we ate calcium. We got heads. We learned how to swim. A fish has two forms of intelligence. A fish can bite, and a fish can move. That's fantastic. But after a while, bigger and bigger fish, sharks, teeth. It was too, all the time biting. So some of us climbed up to the shoreline of the ocean, and we discovered a new chemical that raised our intelligence. we began sniffing oxygen. The FDA, that's the Fish Drug Administration, that oxygen is very bad. Why, oxygen will kill you. Fish, we cannot live up there. Stay down here. Oxygen will kill you. But we said, no. Cut oxygen with nitrogen, and it's wonderful, and it makes you more intelligent. All right. It is always young people who learn a new way of moving and communicating, make an evolution. For a while, we were on land. It was wonderful to be on land with 4 feet, tigers, lions. But mammalian life is worried all the time because the mammalian animal is interested in territory. This is my territory. This is my territory. My territory. Yeah. The animal always is worried about territory. Like Menachem Begin and Arafat, or like the Falkland Islands. So it's not smart to stay an animal all the time. Then we discovered, you remember we discovered a wonderful law of evolution. The higher you are, the smarter you are. So, when I stand up, I climb the tree, my hands are free, I'm no longer looking down, my throat is free, I can talk, I can communicate at a distance. Hello up there! Look at the lion! Look at Menachem Begin! Look at the Falkland Islands! Piss on that lion! Hello! We're communicating. Throughout human history, evolution, 3 things. Evolution is getting higher, evolution is getting faster, and evolution is better communication. Better communication. Higher, faster, better communication. Also, the history of humanity is the idea of hands-on. And my lecture tonight is about hands-on. In America today, and here in Germany, we have video games. Video games, put in a mark. Today I read in the paper that 3 countries have banned video games. Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia. There are no video games in the Soviet Union. The reason they banned video games in the Philippines and in Indonesia and in Malaysia is, they said, it is very bad for children to be playing with computers because they no longer play with tops, you know that? Tops and kites. Video games give children, or airbox, anyone. No, adults don't like video games. Video games give you the chance to react back. So now you go to the theater and you watch Robert Redford. You sit there, eat popcorn, and Robert Redford, no. And there's nothing you can do. You watch television, turn the channel, drink beer. There's nothing you can do. With a video game, the 5-year-old, 6-year-old, hands on. hands-on gives the individual intelligence a chance to change. For example, one time, 50,000 years ago, maybe 100,000 years ago, we all lived in caves. You know, caves? How do you say caves in German? Höhle. Caves. We lived in a nice cave. It's a big cave. But more and more people came. And the cave got very crowded. And the cave didn't smell too good. So he said, we will go out and we will build our own cave. We'll build it of wood. And we'll live in that. And the chief of the cave, the chancellor of the cave, said, no. Only God can make a cave. And it is against the law. It is a sin for you to go out and make a cave, because who do you think you are? God? So some of us... And anyway, the rain will come in the cave. And the cave, it's cold. We made the cave. We went way away from the cave, and we made houses. Small, better. We did it. We left the cave, and we learned how to make our own habitation. Today, the human being in Western Europe and in America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the democratic countries, it is possible for human beings to become much more intelligent. Now, the three next steps to become intelligent are to take your body and make your body your own and learn how your body works. In the last 20 years in America and Germany, there has been a revolution. We have liberated the body. Before the last 20 years, sexuality was all sexuality was forbidden. The human body was considered very bad. The Ayatollah Khomeini, the first thing he did when he came into power, said, boys and girls cannot even go to the same beach to swim because the human body is bad. In the last 20 years, in America, Germany, Europe, there's been a revolution. People have said, my body is my own. My body is beautiful. My body is my vehicle. My body is a temple. My body is an instrument of incredible pleasure. My body is a tool for art. Now, I've been in Germany 2 weeks. I tell you, there are 2 species living in Germany. I can see how they walk. There's one species of human beings in Germany who do not believe in themselves. And the way they walk, they tell the police, they tell the government, they tell God, I'm okay, no trouble. Yesterday, I went to the streets in Göttingen, where there are no cars, the outdoor restaurants, and I watched people for 3 hours. And most young people, not all, but most young people walk like this. very important. Because walking tells the world what species you belong to. I do not think that young people who wear comfortable blue jeans and wear comfortable shoes and who learn to walk like Mick Jagger, I don't think you will ever grow up. I don't think so. You're not going to, are you?
No.
No. No. Good. Yeah, no. There, in America today, the number one industry is body improvement. The average truck driver in America today, average worker, he has shoes like Bjorn, tennis player. He has Gucci wallet. He has a hair dryer. He has a cologne for the truck driver. He has a silver-plated cocaine spoon. At home, he has a hi-fi set, the best. He has a pleasure, hedonics, erotics, aesthetics. All depends upon the first step in freeing yourself to become a person of the future. Take your body. Say, this is my body, and I will make it beautiful. Your body is an instrument of art and pleasure. So, in America, I go on television, or I say in public, I'm an American of the 21st century. I will put in my body anyone or anything that I want. I will take any drug that I want because I'm free and my body is my own. And this is not Soviet Union. My body is my own. The second step of evolution is, that's hands on your body. You learn how to make your own body feel good, and then you learn how to make somebody else's body feel good. Big step in evolution. Now, the body is no longer a taboo. Today in America, the taboo organ is the brain. You are not supposed to touch your brain. Now, I must stop for 1 minute and give you the advertising commercial for tonight's program. Tonight's program is being brought to you by the human brain. I'm an advertising agent for the human brain. I must tell you, the human brain, your brain, is a perfect instrument. Your brain, when I first studied psychology, they said the human brain is 2.5 pounds of gray. Like you go into a market, say, I don't want the brain, left brain, right brain, got it, No. The brain is like a telephone center, and I have thousands of wires coming in. Oh, good, my brain is a telephone center. But no. The brain is a computer. The brain is a computer as big as IBM, $10 million computer. My brain is like a big computer, $10 million. That's good. Except, I don't know how to use it. IBM knows how to use it, huh? Then, a wonderful thing happened 5 years ago in America. Two young men who walk like this and wore blue jeans. Two young men, they're acid heads. Two young men named John and Wozniak invented an instrument that is going to free all of us. They invented the microcomputer, the Apple computer. For 3,000 marks now, you can get your own computer. Now they say, the human brain, my brain, your brain, is not one big computer. There are between 10 billion and 40 billion computers inside your brain. There are probably 10,000 computers in my hand to tell them. Your brain is a network of over 40 billion computers. Now, when I was a student, they said, the human being uses only 15% of the brain. No. Inflation, 10%. Falkland Islands, 5%. The truth is, most human beings do not use their brain at all. They are used by the brain. Your brain has been programmed. Who programmed your brain? Your mother and father? Your teachers? Minister? Priest? Who programmed our brain? Now we are learning to use the brain. You can reprogram your brain. I have written 4 or 5 books in German, translated in German, which tell you how to reprogram your brain. Now, you can have as many minds as you want to. It's like, a disk for a computer. A disk, boom. It's one mind. Take it out. Boom, 2. You can change your mind. You can reprogram your reality. There is no excuse now for you not to be able to grow and change any way you want. Because now we know that the brain is a network of computers that we can program hands-on. There are in America 3 species. I think maybe in Germany too. These 3 species do not understand each other at all. One species was people born before 1946. 1946? In 1945 was the end. 1945 was Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There can never be another mammalian war after Hiroshima. Right? Right. People born after 1946, you people, you're the first post-Hiroshima generation. You're the first television, electronic generation. When you were little babies, you climbed out of the little bed and you crawled across the room, and with your little baby hands, you turned the dial of reality. Dunk, 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 dunk. ABC, NBC, BBC, television, channels, dun, 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 dun. By the time you were 5 years old, you saw more reality, more perspective, more history, more drama, more Shakespeare, more Goethe, more of everything. By the age of 5, than the wisest sultan in the past. And you learned how to dial multiple reality. And you became the first mass generation in history of people who believe in themselves, who are ready to take self-responsibility for making reality. Now in America, people born before 1946, 70% of them want weapons to fight Russia. People born after 1976, 75% do not want war and want to have peace. In America, 80% of people before 1946 think drugs are terrible Except wonderful alcohol, whiskey, booze, yes. Good. Nicotine, but 80% of older people think that the new drugs are bad. 80% of people after 1946 think, drugs are like automobiles, or they're like television. An intelligent person uses drugs intelligently, and a stupid person uses drugs stupidly. That is all you can say about drugs. And there are times when an intelligent person might want any drug to help you grow. And there are times when no drugs are good to help you grow. The intelligent, free human being learns, studies, and makes the decision yourself about when and if to drive a car or use a drug. There are two more things I want to say very fast, and then we will have a break for cigarettes and drugs. In the United States and in Europe too, there are scientists who are working on a pill. This pill is called the longevity pill, the L pill, the life extension pill. I have 4 friends who are working scientists. They tell me that between 2 and 10 years, we will have a pill that will double the human lifespan. That means that you can live for 200 years. Oh no. Many people, if you say, hey, you can live 100 years more, they say, no. My marriage won't stand it. No. I'm too bored. No. Leave me alone. But remember, you're going to be intelligent. You're going to learn how to use your brain. You're going to become very intelligent. So you want more time, because there's so many wonderful things to learn. One other thing. In the last 20 years, we have learned, we have repealed, we have done away with a law, a terrible law, which has kept us down, a law which has made us like worms crawling, a law which has kept us in prison. I speak of the law of gravity. In the last 20 years, human beings, human intelligence has got higher, faster, smarter. Oh, Houston, control, communication. No. Ground control to Major Tom. Higher and faster. Human beings have conquered the law of gravity and gone into space. Right now, there are several Russians in a permanent space colony, a little industrial laboratory. We are going into space. So, the 3 things that I want to tell you about that can change your life are: you can increase your intelligence 24 ways. You can live as long as you want. There's no reason why anyone in this room should die except for stupidity or laziness or bad luck. So, my job, I'm an advertising agent. I come to Germany and I send out a message. I have 3 products, 3 things that you can have. I want you to want. I want you to become smarter all the time. I want you to live as long as you want to, and I want you to be able to leave the planet make homes in the sky, and look around the solar system. Space, time, and intelligence to use it. Now let's take 10 minutes break, and then if you come back, I'll have questions and answers, and we can talk, okay? And you can talk. Thank you. Depends on where you are. Geography is destiny, and where you go determines your future. There are many places on planet Earth in the future where there will be almost no sexuality. For example, in China today, sex is illegal. Sex is against the state. Sex is against Marx. So, sexuality in China, if a boy and girl hold hands, they can be arrested. In the free countries of the world, there will be many, many forms of sexuality. Particularly, there is a different form of sexuality for every stage or every form of intelligence. So there are 24 different ways that you can make love. Number 1, float and suck. When we go to space, we will build little cities. In 20 years, it will be cheaper, fewer dollars and marks, to buy in space a beautiful little valley with trees and a little river and a house with 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms for less money than you would be in Göttingen. Because on the planet Earth there is more and more people and less. Now, sex. Sex in space is wonderful. Because you can go to a place where there's no gravity. When you make love in 0 gravity, there is no down, there is no up. It's very, very good. Sex in the future, you must go to the place where people who are as intelligent as you go. If you want to get smarter, one thing to do is to migrate, move. I must tell you that I was born in the east coast of America, near Boston, Massachusetts. That's on the Atlantic Ocean. I have been around the world many times. I have lived 8 years in Europe, 2.5 years in exile with the police chasing me. I now live in California. Why? because California is full of hope. And California, people are encouraged to be different. So, before you settle down, I think all of you should come one time to California for a month, for 2 months, and look around. And it may give you hope to change. It may give you ideas to change. It may give you courage to change. And then you can come back to Göttingen and try something
I
different.
won't go back to Göttingen then.
Well, maybe.
Can I sleep at your home? No.
Ask my wife. If you are intelligent, when you come to California, you will find someone to sleep with. Are there any other questions? Yeah. No. Ask in German.
It sounds very enthusiastic what you're telling me about California. Oh, I suppose if I understand you understand me too. Okay, point is, it sounds enthusiastic, but you've been criticizing kind of this Jehovah-type progress thing. And the visions you're giving me is a technological vision, and we're at the moment finding out that we don't have the means to finance a hospital or to live in that future-oriented style. So the thing is, let's say, changing our mind. Let's produce something different, not in the sense of living better, but perhaps perceiving more. Perspective for the future cannot be in kind of growth and live more comfortably. So there's one thing that struck me right in that your first strain, when you broke off the criticizing theology, criticized that masculine macho thing, that mind. And we're having a discussion at the moment about feminine way of thinking, kind of thinking in cycles. You're considering that too? Kind of that we have to return to nature and get back into circles again.
This question. Oh yeah.
Oh, I can translate it.
Okay. What can I say?
Sag's doch einfach nochmal ganz einfach auf Deutsch, was du sagen
Ich
willst.
sage einfach, die Vision von Kalifornien ist schön und es ist fantastisch, aber wir haben nicht die technologischen Möglichkeiten dazu und wenn wir das erreichen wollen, müssen wir die dritte Welt ausbeuten. Das ist ja soweit klar. Also ist diese Linie von Fortschritt im Gegenteil nicht so ganz möglich und er hat zu Anfang so einen Strang gebracht von Theologiephysik, ja, als im Prinzip eines Gottes, der patriarchalisch ist und der die Zukunft will, so Fortschritt linear. Dann dachte ich, wir haben aber hier noch eine andere, so einen anderen Diskussionsstrang, der ist matriarchalischer. Denken in Kreisen, ja sicher.
Okay, lass ihn doch mal was
Yeah. Yeah. In America, 10 years ago, many hippies looked at America and Vietnam and IBM and the Pentagon and said, no, we drop out. We go to the woods. We go to nature. We live like Indians. I lived for 1 year with Titi in 1966, 1967. It was wonderful. But that is a stage we go through. Then we realize we have to come back. And I must tell you, this is very important to young people of Germany. Do not be afraid of technology. You must learn the technology and take it away from the big business and from big government, and take it away from the police, and take it away from the religious. In America, now, there are 300,000 or 400,000 young girls and boys, the age 15 to 20, who study computers. They can never be controlled by the Pentagon or the Washington, D.C. American government computer. Why? Look, I work for the KGB, or the CIA. I have a computer. I have you, and you, and you, everyone in my computer. What should I do? Oh, okay. What? Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, yeah? Any 16-year-old girl or boy can figure out how to change a computer. The free, intelligent person is stronger than a big, big computer. But you've got to be as smart. You've got to learn the computer in order to program your own life and to not be programmed by the big computer. We must not be afraid of technology. Technology was used in the past against the individual. And here in Germany, among young people, I am very sad because many young people have been crushed. They have no hope. They're very cynical. They say, no. Well, that is sad because you can change it. You can change it. Now in America, there are 76 million people between the ages of 18 and 36, born between 1946 and 1964. It was called the baby boom. 40 million more young people than they expected. Now, first we had to build twice as many factories for baby bottles and for diapers, and we had to double the schools. Now in America, we have a terrible economic problem, unemployment, because there are 40 million extra. We have to build more jails because young people commit more crimes. They are 18 to 36. Watch America in the future, because the young people of America are going to take over. They're now 18 to 36. In the election, the presidential election in 2 years, they'll be between the ages of 20 and 38. Young people in America are going to take over the country. And young people are going to take over the country. Now, they have tremendous power of buying, but they have never used their power politically. There will be in America a young person's party, because people born after 1946 think differently than older people. So, don't be afraid of technology. Learn technology. Learn how to use it to free yourself and to free your friends and free the country against the big computers. Also, in European philosophy is always polar, Hegelian, communism, capitalism, past, future. I am green. I spend 2, 3, 4 months a year out in the desert, in the woods, and in the ocean, taking wonderful drugs. I swim like a fish. I climb trees. I am green. I'm green. I love nature. I worship nature. I'm a pagan. A pagan, pagan? A pagan is someone who worships life. So I love green. But I also, now in my teepee, I want to have a computer, and outside a little satellite so I can hear everything that goes on in the world. You can be green, and you can be intelligent. You don't have to be a paleolith and live in a cave. Okay. What do you say?
That's funny.
Oh, good. Listen, did you want to ask a question?
Guten Abend. Ich habe noch nie öffentlich gesprochen und ich bin der Sprache nicht so fähig wie Herr Leary. Ich muss sagen, ich schätze sehr, was er geschrieben hat. Ich habe einige seiner Bücher gelesen und ich bin etwas enttäuscht über die Vorführung heute Abend und ich bin auch enttäuscht über das Publikum. Denn Sie haben über sehr schlechte Scherze gelacht. Herr Leary hat sich offenbar auf das Niveau seiner Landsleute eingestellt und wenn er von Intelligenz spricht, so ist das wohl etwas, was er teilweise verloren hat, oder er beurteilt uns eben hier sehr falsch. Ich habe einige Fragen an Herrn Leary gestellt. Ich spreche jetzt Englisch. Sie müssen entschuldigen, wenn das manchmal nicht so gut klappt. Mr. Leary, what is your intention here in Germany?
What is my intention in Germany? Why? Why am I talking to you? My job is to give you scientific facts and give you logic, to give you courage and intelligence to change your life, to change society. For example, science in the past has been against the human. There's now a humanistic science in physics, astrophysics, neurology, computers, chemistry, genetics, even thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, I was taught the second law of entropy. Entropy means that everything gets closed down, to pretty soon the whole universe will be 0, centigrade, all the same. That everything works down. There is a man called Ilya Prigogine, a Belgian, who won the Nobel Prize and who has proved with mathematics and with experiments that no, there is no entropy. Yes, structures collapse. This building will someday fall down. Even trees fall down. Empires fall down. Your car will break. But with this illusion, there's also a higher organization. That's called evolution. We have repealed, we have torn up the second law of thermodynamics. Immunology is learning how we can inoculate ourselves against all diseases, aging and death. Neurology, pharmacology is teaching us how to change our minds. My job, and why I'm here, is I send out good new ideas. I send out in one lecture over 200 new ideas. You know, RPM with your automobile? RPM? Revelations per minute. If you were to listen to a tape of my lecture tonight and read it, you would find over 200 new ideas. So my job is to, as advertising agent, is to do. Next week you will read an experiment about life extension. Oh yes, life extension. Yesterday, some private company set up a rocket into space. Not a government, a private company. There's a company called Alraune in Germany, which is trying to send up a private rocket. So you'll hear more and more and more about space colonization. My job is to encourage German young people to turn on, tune in, and take over.
Yes.
Any other question?
More questions?
No, mach du erstmal.
Okay.
Give him another chance.
You are giving long answers to short questions. I want to beg you to give for my short questions, short answers.
Okay.
What's your question? Yes. My question is, do you really believe that when we are young, we can go out to space? Do you believe, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see this possibility, but another question.
Why not?
You are talking of intelligence. You are talking of youth, you know. You aren't young, yes. But you think you are intelligent, yes?
I'm not so sure.
I'm not sure too. But if you are talking to us and you are here to encourage us, you encourage us to believe in technology. Because young Americans see...
No. Do not believe in technology. Use it.
Yes.
Okay, you can use technology in any way, you know. America is using the technology, but in other way. You know, they are building rockets, they are building bombs, and they are building new chemical forces. Okay? And you think that will be changed by the young American? Young American?
Yes. Number one, I'm against the American foreign policy. I think after World War II, the old Americans started going all around the world, El Salvador, Honduras, Middle East. I'm against all that. I think America, the young people of America, will take power in 2 or 6 years. They will bring all the troops back. They will give you the bombs in Germany. You can have it. We will say to the world, young people in America will say to the world, we are not going to fight like animals. We're going to spend the money that we now spend on weapons on life extension pills, which we'll give to everyone in the world. You can live as long as you want. We will develop new ways of education so we can make people smarter. We will use American money and American intelligence for science and technology to help people, not to control people. If young people don't do this, who? It's got to be you.
Another question.
I got a little bit of a headache tonight.
Oh,
yes. And it's not very fair. It's not very fair. But please give us one word about nicotine. Well, I don't want to be unfair to you, towards you, and all the audience. Just one word about nicotine, huh?
How about 6 words? 6? Nicotine is the most addictive drug, period.
Ich wollte die Frage stellen, ob im Schritt zwischen dem Affen und dem Menschen, wo also der Mensch aufrecht gehen lernt. Ob da noch irgendeine Droge im Spiel war, wie Calcium. Wie Calcium oder Sauerstoff vorher.
Zwischen Affe und Mensch.
Also zwischen Tier und Mensch. Denn der Intelligenzschritt zwischen dem Tier und dem Menschen ist dort sehr hoch.
Sehr schön. Okay. What made human beings come from animals? What was there a truck? Did somebody use a truck? Some animal, some clever animal? Did it try a truck? Maybe calcium, and then it became a fantastic human being, intelligent.
I want to say something about trucks. Motor might be used as a truck too.
I believe, and many, many scientists believe, that evolution is pre-programmed. DNA has a blueprint, a plan for human evolution. At one time, every one of us, was a single cell in our mother's body. In a single cell came a little baby. From the little baby, its blueprint that the baby at 16 will be an adolescent. It's all blueprinted. The intelligent human being learns the blueprint of DNA. We're now learning how to decipher DNA, RNA, and read the blueprint of the future.
Also mehr jetzt daran interessiert als an anderen Welt bin ich eigentlich an dieser Welt. Ich sehe in dieser Welt eben, dass Millionen Leute sterben an Hunger, an Krieg, an psychischem und materiellem Elend, zum Beispiel auch durch den Kapitalismus, wo gerade hier Amerika ziemlich vorne ist. Und ich bin also daran interessiert, eher auf dieser Welt meine Probleme zu lösen, anstatt in andere Planeten zu gehen. Yes, I'm more interested in than leaving the planet and going to other planets. I'm interested in this world, and I see in this world millions of people dying of hunger, of war, of psychic and material things caused, for example, by capitalism and by the USA. And I'm more interested in solving the problems here than going to other planets.
That's good. Number one, I am against American capitalism, so I'm also against communism. Number two, this question comes up all the time in evolution. When we were fish, some fish said, no, you cannot go up to land because we still have the sharks against the dolphins. We have to fight. As long as there is one fish down here that is being eaten up, we cannot go. Some people stay down there and are still fish. The wonderful thing about space migration is that nobody has to go. We're not going to come and say, you must go. Moving into space is selection. Who wants to go? In 5,000 years, we will be coming back down to the planet Earth on a Club Med tour of the old world. And you will be here because you will take... you want to take the longevity pill? Yeah, so you'll be here. You'll be here. And it'll be wonderful because with most of us gone, the pollution will be gone and there won't be as much fighting because overpopulation causes fighting. Overpopulation causes depression and poverty. With most human beings gone, it'll be good down here. But when we come back in 5,000 years to visit Tehran in Iran, in 5,000 years, the Shiites will be fighting against the king, and the mullahs will be saying, kill them all, because Iran always has been that way. You cannot change a geographical place. So that, why don't you let us, is it okay with you if some of us go off? Then you can see if it's good. We will send back energy. We will send back electricity from power stations, solar power stations. We will send down new technologies. We will send down good things to you. We will keep you very amused by watching us on television. You can come up and visit us for a tour, and maybe you'll like it. Okay.
It's okay, that's not bad.
Should I stop now, or you want one for 5 minutes, huh? Yeah.
I think you know what I want to ask. Also, ich wollte von ihm eigentlich wissen, was er mit diesen 24 Stufen meint. Das habe ich immer noch nicht ganz kapiert. Ich habe auch sein Buch nicht gelesen. You know, I didn't know about these 24 steps you were talking about. And I want you to learn us those 24 steps.
The first step of intelligence, when you were a little baby, was to suck. The second, now, at each of these 24 stages, an imprint is made. If your first sucking was not good, you should go back and learn how to suck all over again. The second stage of evolution was when you learned to be like a fish. You made an imprint or a program then. It's good to go back and learn how to swim, because you're using your fish intelligence. As a matter of fact, if you don't know how to swim and you fall into the swimming pool, you may die. So it's intelligent to learn how to swim. It's good to learn how to walk and master gravity. Most people were taught how to walk by watching their parents. I just showed you how parents walk. So being able to walk in a way that is, there's an intelligence in how you walk. Words are another form of intelligence. Words are like boom. If you know the right words, boom, you can get anyone to do what they want. Say, communism. Semantics, knowing how to invent words, is a form of intelligence. I'd rather talk about the 12 stages of intelligence to come. It is important that you learn how to make love, sexual intelligence. It's important that you know how to use every sense organ in your body, eyes, ears, touch, to feel good and to make art. It's important that you learn how to use a computer, because if you don't use a computer, the computer is going to use you. It is good and intelligent to take care of your body. There's a new book in America which is a #1 bestseller. It's called Life Extension. It lists many, many different ways in which you can extend your lifespan. It lists drugs you can take. It is also intelligent to learn how to use drugs. Now, there are 8 different kinds of drugs that access 8 different parts of your brain. Most people do not know how to use drugs. They abuse drugs. If you want to become intelligent, you should know how to use drugs, because drugs are keys to get into your brain computer. I'll give you an example of a stupid use of drugs. People ask me about marijuana, and I say, smoke marijuana? Smoke marijuana is not intelligent to smoke marijuana for 4 reasons. Number one, you lose 90% of the resin in the smoke. Number two, smoking is bad for your lungs. Save your lungs for nicotine. Number three, it is very inesthetic and vulgar. That is not elegant. And four, it is dangerous to smoke marijuana because you have to carry it or that. The police could get you. My wife makes for me organic, healthy marijuana cookies. And we go to the best restaurant in Hollywood, and the chief of police can be there. And we sit down, and we have a little silver tray. We put 4, 6 elegant, healthy little marijuana cookies. I tell you that point to remind you, never do anything that anyone else does. Try it. Be an experiment. 24 minutes. Okay. Yes, I can't give you 24. I have written in my books, by Sphinx Verlag in Basel. Sphinx Verlag in Basel has published Was Wille die Frau? Exopsychology, Neuropolitics, and Game of Life. And I give the 24. I will tell you, though, that life extension, learn how to extend your life. That's intelligence. It's dumb to die. Also, there are a whole new set of drugs in America which are not brain drugs at all, which take you out of your body so that there are levels of intelligence of how to get out of your body. Because human beings eventually will get to a point. Also, genetics is very important. Learn genetics. Learn how DNA evolves species. Learn the rules of DNA. Because DNA is playing cards with evolution. And DNA is the language of evolution. Another genetic intelligence is this. Move. Every time you change, migrate, you increase your intelligence. Life is an autobahn. Göttingen, Hamburg, California, planet Earth are petrol food stops on the autobahn of life. Yes, Göttingen and California, planet Earth are good autobahn stops. But you must not spend your entire life in a Holiday Inn on the autobahn. I would like to tell you one final story.
I think you rather answered a couple of more questions from this gentleman down there.
All right, sure.
No. Who are you?
Eulenspiegel. I do respect Mr. Leary very much for his books, as I said before, and I also see the need and reason to do something these days, because human beings are polluting this earth, and they've got too much powers by nuclear weapons, and there's too much tensions of the two big blocks of the Soviet Union and America. And I do think Mr. Leary does agree with it, and I also found the same key he has found. I found this key without asset by a personal crisis which I have overcome. The neurologists call this schizophrenia, and this is a natural chance of this genetic code of which Mr. Leary is talking. And I found out some points. If you're interested to hear it, I can give you some information.
I'm going to tell you one story, then I'll stop. And then would you come up and we'll talk to, you be there and come up, and people will come and talk to you. I'll be at the bar there. People can come talk to me. And we'll just continue talking in small groups. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a space cadet. What? Space cadet in Space Academy. How do you say space cadet in German? Space cadet? Anyway.
Raumlehrling sozusagen.
They told me to tell this story when I was on planet Earth. Once, it's like the Bruder Grimm. Once upon a time, there were 5 caterpillars who saw their first butterfly. How do you say caterpillar in German? Raupe. How do you say butterfly? Schmetterling. Thank you. The first caterpillar was very important professor of engineering at the university. And he saw the caterpillar and he said, "They will never get me up in one of those." The second caterpillar was a very important bureaucrat. And she said, "Why, that's very bad. There's nothing in the rule book that said that caterpillars can fly. Get a net and bring that caterpillar down." The third caterpillar, I dedicate this to you, said, "It is terrible for caterpillars to be flying around like that when there are caterpillars in Bangladesh that do not have color television." The fourth caterpillar was a Buddhist caterpillar and made the lotus position and said, "Om," or whatever Buddhist caterpillars say. Why bother to go to all the trouble to build wings and muscles when I can fly, astral travel in my own head? And the fifth caterpillar was the religious theologian caterpillar who said, if God had wanted caterpillars to fly, she would have given us wings. Now, evolution has given us wings, has given us 40 million computers. Evolution has given us the wings. All these things I tell you about are going to happen, whether we want it or not. We're going to leave the planet. We're going to get smarter. We're going to live a long time. I invite you to come. And in 50 years, we will all meet again, flying high, much more intelligent, and having a wonderful time. Thank you and good night.